I am over here because I need a pit stop for the SOS Beachbody Tour, and I'm so thankful I did because I got a lot of information. Thanks so much for following me. My name is Dwyer, and I am a coach with Team Beachbody and also the founder and president of Platinum Presenters. So thanks for following me here on Inside the Training Room, where I can help you build your business by answering your questions. So one of the questions I got was, what was the best tip that I learned from being here at the SOS Tour with Beachbody? I learned a ton, but if I could answer one, it was from MJ Durkin, and it's relating to your list. So you're always told to make a big list of all the people that you would be talking to about this business, be it your friends, be it your coworkers, be it your family, and maybe even the people around you. You keep putting them on the list. And he says that many people are putting people on their list, and when their coach asks them, or do you have your list? Oh yes, I got my list, I got my list. And then the next question is, well, you're talking to people on your list, and they're like, oh no, if I keep them on my list, then I still have a list, but I'm not going to call them, because if I call them and they say no, then I have to cross them off my list, and then I don't have a list. Well, the biggest thing for that is make sure that you make a list, contact the people on it, because why are you just going to keep holding onto a list of people where they're not going to really do anything for you? The other great tip that he used about the list is to make sure that you actually physically write it on a piece of paper. Now, I'm a very tactile person. I used to work in the medical industry, where I used to have a Franklin day planner, and that was my life, and it took me forever to transition over to using Microsoft Outlook or another online or technical calendar type system. Well, the disadvantage of using your list on your iPhone, your BlackBerry, or something that is media-wise is that you don't really have that tactile sense of actively keeping it in your brain to work on while you go about your day. So MJ Durkin said that you can have that master list on that technical piece, but you should always write down on a physical piece of paper your list, your top people that you're going to get in touch with throughout the business day, or that you should follow up with, because then when you leave the house, you grab your keys, you grab your phone, you grab your list, and when you have your list with you physically somewhere, you keep running into it, you're going to keep constantly using that in your day to make sure that you make steps in contacting those people on your list that day. So you're going to work with your business more often if you physically have it on hand. And I wanted to give those of you who are new to Twitter a tip. So many of you will follow me and other people, and on my account, when someone's brand new following me, I have an automatic DM sent to them. So I get a lot of responses back from you guys saying, I know who you are, I'm not trying to prospect you. That's not the case. Mine's an automatic message that goes out to you and tells you a little bit about me. So that's it. I'm not trying to prospect you. I know you're not trying to prospect me. It's an automatic DM. Thanks. All right, so I got a question of, how do you best present the business after you've already given someone the Decide DVD or they've already seen the presentation? Realistically, when you're presenting the business to someone, say for instance, if you're handing them a Decide DVD, never just hand someone information and send them on their way. You always got to set up your next date, if you will. So set up your follow-up with them. So if you're talking to someone and you say, hey, you want to check this out, that's not your end result. You gotta set up a follow-up. So your next step is setting up that follow-up. Hey, can you watch this DVD? Are you free anytime today? And if they say, yeah, I've got some time around this afternoon, I could watch it. Okay, well, make sure that you watch it, because I'm gonna follow up with you later on. So when can I follow up? Are you free in the afternoon on maybe Monday or Tuesday? When are you free that I can call you and kind of go over some questions that you might have? So you already set your next date, and you have to nail it. Nail the appointment time just like it is an appointment time, so that people feel committed to it. That would be the step first on the Decide DVD, as well as if you sent them off to watch a presentation, is make sure you set a follow-up time to discuss if this is for them. All right, I get a lot of questions about coaches who are offering free items if the person signs up, or I'll pay your join-in fee, or a month of free coaching and Shakeology if you join with me. A lot of coaches are going to try different techniques to get their business rolling, and I can't answer if that's working 100% for all of the coaches that do that. I do know that it doesn't work for everyone. So it might work for a very few amount of people because of maybe the other things that they are doing. But most of the time, that doesn't work. And really, a lot of times people always want to just get something for free and they say thank you and they move on. So your efforts are best not to be just handing things out for free and giving them off to people all the time, is to really stop looking at trying to rope someone in or sell someone on something. It's really about trying to just connect with people and talk to them more in a casual conversation and get to know them rather than trying to force something on them and doing these promotions. Should you do promotions? Sure, why not? It's fun to do promotions sometimes. But if that's your angle, or if that's your niche, and if that's what you're trying to do, and then you step back and you say, this isn't working, I'm trying everything. It's because that, to me, and to many coaches that I know that have tried it, doesn't always work. So you could do it for fun every so often, yay, that's fun to do, but don't make that your sole purpose for building your business. Just another thing I need to add on about the promotions and giveaways and paying for fees. Someone asked, is there restrictions set for that? Well, yes, there are restrictions. You can give away whatever you want. You can buy whatever you want and give away anything. But just read the compensation policy plan from Beachbody, because you never want to get into trouble with violating any of those rules. But make sure that you follow the compensation and policy plan that's set by Beachbody. One of the things that is a big red flag is that you can never sell the Beachbody product items publicly at a price higher or lower than what Beachbody sells it for. As a coach, we have to sell it for the same price that Beachbody will offer it. All right, Carl, so we all know that you can't be a coach with a business because you're obviously the CEO of the company, right? But if I recruited you and you started the business tomorrow, say for instance, what would be your first steps in actually getting started and get going?
Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
First off, I wish I could be a coach, and I would love to be a coach. If I were recruited, if somebody came up to me, got me started in this business, I would be so aggressive right out of the gate. I mean, I would make sure I would do everything I could to qualify for the LEAD program. Like, that would be the first thing out of the gate. I would make sure I would get an aunt or an uncle or a friend or somebody. I would say, you have got to do this with me. I would do whatever I could to find another aggressive person, another ambitious person, so that I would start qualifying for the customer lead program, and I would make sure that as soon as possible I qualified for the Shakeology lead program. That's like the gravy train, so I would get in that wheel, okay? Next thing I would do, I would get logo wear. Again, take advantage of the strength of the business before you try to recreate the business. So I would have that P90X logo, or the Insanity logo, or the Turbo Fire logo on at all times. And I would make sure I went out for coffee, or I wore that logo if I went to get gasoline, or went to pick up the kids at school, or if I went to a PTA meeting. The conversations I want to have start are, hey, that P90X, I got that P90X, or I saw that on TV. Now I've got a conversation started, and I can say, well, yep, I'm in the middle of my transformation, and or if that person says to me, yeah, I'm doing P90X, I can say, you know, how are you solving the food problem? Because I hear that the meal plan is a little bit complicated, but there's this Shakeology stuff that really helps people cut calories and get healthy and recover from the workouts. Are you using that? Conversation starters. So, two main things. I would get two people, I would get to Emerald within an hour or two of you signing me up. And I mean, I would be on it. And then I would get the logo wear, and I would wear it constantly. I wouldn't be wearing Nike or Under Armour or any of this other stuff. I'd have the TV promoted stuff. And then I would go right to the Getting Started program. I mean, we created that, not so we could sell a Getting Started program, because we created that because that's what works. I'd make my list of 10 people, and I would carry that list with me wherever I went, and the minute I crossed one person off that list, I'd put another person off that list. If I started to lose, if I started to run out of people to put on my list, I would go through the phone book, and I would start at A, and I would be accountant, my accountant, put him on the list. Go down B, beauty, oh, my wife gets her hair cut, go talk to those people. I'd be wearing the logo around. I would talk to everybody. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it. That's the way I would approach it. that's the way I hope everybody approaches it.
All right, many of you ask, how do I follow up with someone without seeming so pushy? Well, really, it comes down to you're never really being pushy when you are following up with someone if you got an agreement from them. So if you're exposing the business or exposing Shakeology or sharing something about this business structure to someone and you set your follow-up time frame with them, you set a date. So when you follow up with them, you're just acting on your half of the bargain. You just set a date. So if you made a doctor's appointment, the doctor's expecting you to call or to come in. You're that part of the doctor's appointment. You got to come in and check in because you set that appointment with them. So if you're setting follow-up calls, emails, or whatever, chats of any sort, they expect that because they agree to you following up with them. Now really be sure, for instance, if you are exposing the business to someone and they really are not interested, when you follow up with them, and if you feel like you're chasing them, let them go. Or maybe say, you know, I tried to get in touch with you on our scheduled time, so Monday at 2 you told me to give you a call. You must have been busy, sorry I missed you. If you want to set up another follow-up time for me to go over any questions you might have, let me know. But if you're completely not interested in this, no problem. Just can you please let me know, just send me an email and I will take you off my list of contacting you back, or anything like that. Something to basically give them the out and the right to say, no, it's not for me. Because sometimes this might not be for someone. And for you to feel like you're chasing after someone all the time and they feel like they're running away and now you're that scary encyclopedia salesperson coming to the door, that's not what this business is about. This is honestly about sharing such an amazing opportunity for someone to change so many facets in their life. And if someone doesn't feel that it's right for them right now, because it might not be the time that they're thinking about it, and it might happen. For me, I didn't start right away. I knew about this business for a year and a half before I actually got involved. And it's a matter of it wasn't right for me at that moment. I'm so glad I did wait, had such amazing opportunities because I aligned myself up with the right people at the right time. And that's sometimes what you have to think about when you're exposing the business to some people. It might not be right at the right time. So if you're chasing people down, just ask them, hey, it's okay if this is not for you. I just wanted to follow up with you and make sure that I made my part of the deal of connecting with you. Obviously say it in different terms, but it should never be feeling like you're pushy. If you're making an appointment with them, and if they miss that appointment, that you send your next contact and request, hey, did you want to set up another time? I know you must have gotten busy, or I'm sorry, I missed the appointment, or whatever it is. But then also give them the action of, you know what, this might not be for you. Thanks guys so much for following me on this week's edition of Inside the Training Room. Please stay tuned because I've got so many great nuggets available for the next week. I've got so many other clips available from Carl Deichler that I'm going to share with you. So don't miss. Make sure you subscribe. Tell any other coach out there you know to subscribe. And even if you're just doing any home business, these are going to be valuable tips for you to use in that business as well. So thanks so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Here's a tip to get paper towels without getting your hands dirty. Use the back of your knuckles.